New at 5, some storm damage victims and state leaders tell us they're a bit upset about how long it took the state to declare a state of emergency after the weekend storm.
Fox 23 Spencer Humphrey tells us the change they'd like to see after Oklahoma's top 2 elected officials have been out of state during the storm response.
Sunday morning brought an early wake-up call for Bethany Williard and her family.
At about 1:30 in the morning, we hear this loud crash.
They thought their East Tulsa home survived the storm unscathed. Come to find out, a large hole had actually formed in their roof, allowing water to pool on their kitchen ceiling. Now, over 3 days later,
You can see remnants of ceiling in our couch.
she's still trying to make sense of everything that happened.
I've lived here my entire life, and this is the worst thing I've been through.
She says she's also trying to make sense of why it took the state over 2 days to declare a state of emergency. After all, it would help ease regulations and expedite repairs and power restoration for people like her elderly parents.
I think that's what bothers me the most is my parents. There's other elderly out there that are probably suffering as well.
It's the responsibility of the governor to sign an emergency declaration. But as it turns out, Governor Stitt is currently out of the country, attending the Paris Air Show in France on what his office calls an economic development trip. State law says the governor cannot take any actions like signing an emergency declaration if they are not physically in the state. That meant the responsibility would fall to Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell. But we learned Tuesday Pinnell left the state too to go to a pre-scheduled event in Georgia. He did that on Monday, though, after the storm came through. That left Senate President Pro Tem Greg Treat technically in charge as acting governor. Problem is, Treat says no one informed him the governor and lieutenant governor were out of the state and that he was acting governor until Tuesday. He said within the hour of learning that, he went to the Capitol and signed the declaration. It was only then that Attorney General Gentner Drummond says his office could be allowed to enact certain protections against things like price gouging and storm repair scams. He says he wants to see lawmakers find a way to improve communication or change the rules on when top state leaders can be out of the state. He said in a statement, in part, "I hope the governor and legislature will work to ensure Oklahoma families and businesses don't experience similar delays when future disaster strikes." Governor Stitt put out a statement, too, saying the state, including the Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management and Homeland Security, continues to be responsive through emergency declarations, waivers, and requests to impacted areas to restore power, protect critical infrastructure, and to get Oklahomans the resources they need during these trying times. In Tulsa, covering news that matters, Spencer Humphrey, Fox 23 News.